Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and we're going to be doing something a little different today. I'm going to be talking about the new trailer for Pokemon Generation 6. This is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Now if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I've got a link in the description and in the annotation so you can go ahead and take a look at that. And if you want to come back, I'm going to just analyze and go through. It goes by pretty quick, so I'm going to talk about all the images that pop up. Now, the biggest thing here, let's get started, is that it is now in 3D. It looks like Pokemon is taking another page from Dragon Quest and they're going for a 3D world while maintaining a similar game setup. Now, this image of the male protagonist here, he's in the mirror, he's wearing these kind of pointy glasses like Squirtle would wear in the TV show, and maybe that means we could customize the character. That's probably just the start of the game though, so that remains to be seen. Now, it looks like the route numbers are going back to the lower numbers. As you can see here, the trainer's walking on Route 3 towards the town, and we got some guys staring blankly onto the route waiting to challenge him. In this shot, the trainer is running around, and it might be a gym because he's swinging between ropes and going off, through like a jungle thing. And here we see the female protagonist running by some flowers, which is pretty cool, by a river there. She also runs by this statue with what looks like Eevee, Palpitoad, Golurk, and it's kind of a cool looking statue there, and we got Dratini 1 on the left as well. And here is a big spoiler for the game setting. It looks like the male protagonist is running by, past what looks like the Eiffel Tower. Now, theories abound that this game is going to be set in a French-like region. The Cartesian coordinates X and Y were developed by René Descartes, so I think that's a pretty strong connection to the France setting, and I'll get to later, the starters are also linked to France. Now we also have this guy on the left. This blonde guy just seems very not impressed by the Eiffel Tower back there. One thing to note, in this shot the protagonist is using roller skates, so I wonder if this kind of compact city setting, we're not going to have bikes anymore, we'll have rollerblades instead. So pretty cool stuff. This is a some sort of type of weird pod structure out in the desert. Looks interesting though. Maybe the villains are living there. Now let's get to the starters. Here's some silhouettes that are really shiny, but I don't want to hold off too long. You guys have probably already seen them. And now here is Chespin, which is this weird chipmunk chestnut character here. He looks very happy. He kind of reminds me of Oshawott from 5th Gen. Look how happy he is, and you get to see the new 6th Gen 3D battles, which look even better than the overworld. And here he is getting pretty mad. He gets spiky as he charges up what looks like Solar Beam, and bam! He blasts a poor Magikarp directly in the side. Now he's also fighting Golurk here in this shot, which looks more like a traditional battle angle. And he goes through and looks like he uses X Scissor to just knock him over like an action figure. So here is the Firestarter. This is Fennekin, based off of Fennec Fox. And we got a fox, another fire fox following Vulpix. Now she's pretty cute looking, but she can get pretty ferocious with this flamethrower, and it's got little fangs there, and blasting Munchlax right in the face. And it also looks like it's using Confusion or possibly Psywave on Kirlia here, taking a bit of damage. So maybe it's going to follow Vulpix's Kitsune Japanese like mythology fox based structure there, so it's going to have some type of psychic attacks as well. Now here's the last starter. This is Froakie, this little frog guy with a backpack on. He also seems to be following some Japanese mythology stuff here, or characters. He reminds me of a Dorobo, which is the Japanese thief that have these big packs on, and maybe he'll end up being Dark Water. That's kind of my theory there. He has some ninja-like qualities too. You can see he looks really stern here, but then he also has this cute blank expression. This guy is my favorite of the three. Look at that cool pose. He's getting ready to do some ninja moves, and he sprays out a water gun right into Panseer there and smacks him. Bam. And then we go over here, and he's running into Patrat, and he does some type of flip thing and goes through, and I don't know what attack this is, but it looks like it hits multiple times. He's doing like a ninja strike there, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, he looks pretty cool. The pack on his back also looks like it could be some type of cloud thing, so maybe he'd be water flying. Who knows? Frogs are pretty linked with ninjas. Now, here's the protagonist, or at least the main protagonist, and what looks like the female from Black 2 White 2, although it's probably just another character, running through a forest, and they run by a trainer here that doesn't challenge him. I guess they've been through here before. but it looks pretty cool. Now what's that hiding in the tall grass? Bam! It's Pikachu! So I guess this is going to be how we see when wild Pokemon pop up. We're going to kind of see them come out of the grass like that. Here's a strange shot with what looks like the female protagonist going into a gym that materializes and transforms into some type of living room with a fireplace. Kinda odd. Maybe that's the psychic gym or something because it goes together. Here we have Litwick using some type of fire attack and just blasting the crap out of Psyduck. And then we have Audino fighting Weavile using Wish to heal itself. Then the protagonist jumps down here into what looks like another gym, probably the bug gym, gauging by that spider web. We got a few trainers there. And then Mienfoo does what looks like Focus Blast to just nail Dratini. Bam. There's some type of fire temple thing. It could be another gym, but it looks pretty important, maybe an epic, like it could be part of the story. And here we have the version Y legendary, some type of giant, it looks kind of like a vulture dragon. It has these cool spikes on its head, and as you can see, it does form the letter Y there before it dives into the camera. Pretty cool. And here is our X legendary. This is a crazy stag. It reminds me of something from Princess Mononoke, if you've seen that. The Guardian of the Forest has this crazy stag antlers like that. I'm actually, I kind of lean towards the X one. I think he looks cooler. He's got this weird rainbow thing. I don't know. We'll see. They're both pretty cool looking, though. I'm excited for those. I think their designs are really unique. So that is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Now, I mentioned the French connection, not referencing the movie, but frogs, chestnuts, and foxes are all the starters. They're all linked to France, so that's more evidence that this one is going to be based off of France, like the previous gen was based off America. So very exciting. Now here's the release date. Worldwide, October of this year, 2013. They're actually going to try to sync this all up, and it looks like it's going to come out everywhere, at least in the same month, which is awesome. They've never done that before. I think at most they've had, or at least they've had like a 6-month delay from the games coming out in Japan. So Iwata, the president of Nintendo, emphasized in the Pokemon Direct conference that we watched this trailer from that they were working to release them all at the same time, I think to cut down on piracy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm super excited. I know this is not something I usually do, but I love Pokemon. I grew up with it, so I wanted to talk about these new generations. I hope you guys are excited too. Let me know if you want to see more of this type of news and announcement stuff, and I can do more. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.